I think I'll camp here. This looks pretty good. Fresh water, a lot of downfall. Should be all right for the night. Well, I've been busy getting wood. Everything's always harder in the snow. You know, a lot of times you can't see stuff that's, you know, decent wood there. It's under the snow. But it's a pretty minimal kit. I mean, this is pretty bulky here. This is 2 full-size wool blankets. I got some sleepwear in there, some long johns, and a lightweight wool anorak as well. So I should be all right. I'm going to do this with just wool blankets. I got my Marlin 1895 chambered in 4570. This is grizzly country. You just never know what's coming up. Silky 2000, got my Norland axe. Most of the time I can get by with that Silky, but when the wood's wet, you got to split it open and get to the dry stuff. So it's always worth carrying that. And this is always too, because keeping your stuff dry constantly. You walk under a tree and suddenly you're covered in snow, and then pretty soon all your clothes are wet and stuff. So this weighs nothing, takes up no room. It's definitely a go on that. And at the end of the day, I arrive better prepared for the night when it gets cold, because my clothes ain't wet from snow. Probably from sweat though. But anyways, I'm trying out this climate. I've never used these inflatable sleep mats. I really don't like them. The idea necessarily, if they puncture, then you got nothing. So you're out of air and you got nothing. But there is the lure of small package, and got some insulation from the ground. I also have my German folding sleep mat. That's the first thing that ever goes in my pack. You want to stay off the ground always, but if you got to go to the ground, you need something to sit on, you need something to lay on. And these German sleep mats, folding sleep mats, I just can't say enough about them. They really don't take up too much room. They add rigidity to your rucksack, which is what they're designed for. The German rucksacks, that's the rigidity and the padding in them. I just love them. Pathfinder, sorry about that. Pathfinder cook pot. I have cooked much stuff in this, and today, this time around, I got some moose tongue. So that's a nice little treat. I got a complimentary to that is the titanium. This is the titanium cook pot. I'm not necessarily, it's not such a big deal to me that's titanium. It's a smaller version, and it complements that. And then still yet, you've got the smaller cook pot as well. These are all set up the same way. This can have a bailing system on it. This is what I've done with it. I've taken these cotter keys and some wire, and I can just pull that off and put it back on. Simple as that. It can work as a bail as well. If you lose a lid, it's a whole different, you really lost something on that one. So I always be mindful to keep track of those lids. And of course this. But other than that, I got a lamp. This is my fire kit. Jute twine, fat wood, ferro rod, more fat wood. And my shelter here, this is a Plosh Palaka. I just got this about 10 days ago or something, and I set it up, and it sat out in the rain for 2 full days, and it's got thoroughly soaked, and the inside stayed dry. It does sag a little bit. I noticed that it sags a little bit, so work that out. It's just it's a little heavier than nylon tarps, so it's going to sag like that. It absorbs a little bit of moisture in there. But So I got a lamp, of course. Gloves. This is how I always roll. I got insulation gloves. I only wear these when I sleep. These are nice old gloves. I don't want to be tearing them up with wood and chopping wood and getting them wet, snow and all that. This is for thermal and emergency use only. I have this for around the campfire. This is nice to always put my knee on there so I'm not getting wet. But I always got leather gloves like this. And these rubber ones are what I use 9 out of 10 times. These are thick ones, and usually if I become idle and not doing nothing, then I start getting cold. I might need something like this. But really, the only time I use these wool gloves is going to be at night. Came up with this. Okay, wool hat, wool scarf. Very nice work. Somebody made this for me, and I really appreciate it. So this will be always in my pack. Always goes in my pack, but mostly for sleeping. You know, mostly right now. You know, I'm worked up. I'm sweaty. I need to take off some of these layers. But this is the German poncho. I got my Hudson Bay blanket. I got this off-name blanket. I'll take a closer look at it later. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's a really nice blanket. It's really warm. It's one of my favorites. So this is pretty much how I'm going to get through here. I'm going to use this as a bivy. I've ordered a second one of these. I'm going to be using as a bivy as well, and a sleeping bag. There's all these things you can do with a Plosh Palaka, and that's what I'll be doing. This is not tailored as well as this. This is 6 foot square, and this is an odd shape. So I'm not going to get full coverage completely around me like a sleeping bag, but I will be able to lay it on top of me and cut the wind. So that's pretty much my plan for the night. If you're interested in Plosh Palaka, go to YouTube Endurance Room. He's got lots of bush time, lots of information on there. He sets these up all different types of ways. It's a really good channel anyways. He's a very minimal camper. He goes out bushcrafting and stuff. And I learned a lot from him, and just when I see how much he goes out, encouraging me, to get out, quit putting things off and go, because he puts in a lot of bush time over there at Endurance Room. So this is pretty much it. I got to get this fire going and start this up. I got moose tongue, potato, and onions in there, and that's what I'm going to eat. So I broke this in a little bit, but I want to see how this goes, and just for something a little bit smaller and lightweight. But these cook pots are just outstanding pieces of gear, and they got the wing handles here, they got the bail, they got pressure fits on there, and they got pouring spout on there. They're just really well, and I've had this a couple years, and this is probably my top 10 best favorite pieces of gear, because it just comes in so handy for so many things. It's got enough size to it that you can start melting some snow with it and get something out of it. Usually I can get, if I fill it up with food, I'll get 2 meals out of it. So, excellent piece of gear. I strongly recommend the Pathfinder stainless steel cook pot. They do make a size bigger. I don't need that. I don't have a bunch of people with me. To me, this is big. And then this titanium pot here, just really nice, comfortable size. So anyways, going to get this fire going and cook some food. there's your there's a moose's tongue. That's a moose tongue there, that's part of it. About half or a third of it. You got to reach way down in her throat. There's a lot more tongue in there. First time I did it, I didn't do that. I just opened its mouth, and I regretted it later when I seen how good it was. And so this time I reached way down in his throat, got as much as I could. So I'll get at least 2 meals out of this. So what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting this in very thin slices. And what I plan on doing is boiling it, and when it's done I'll peel the membrane off. But I'm just cutting little pieces, thinly sliced. The outer membrane. Got some potatoes and some onions, and that's what's for dinner. So I'm cooking the tongue in a larger pot, and I plan on discarding that juice. But the smaller pot I'm cooking the vegetables, and I'll keep that broth to finish off the moose tongue in. So what I'll do is a 30-minute sustained boil, and then I'll combine the ingredients. Well, camp's pretty well secure. Got a nice system there for drying out the wood. We're about 10 minutes away from pursuing the next stage with that. Just drying out a sweater. And all right, so I need short work of trimming off the membrane, the outer membrane. My Pathfinder Kephart. So that's probably base seasoning from the looks of it. And so I got some potatoes and onions in there. I want to put this all together and just let it simmer for a little while. Well, let's see what I got here. Let that cool for a minute. That's pretty good. Still chewy, but you want to take little bites. Try this broth. That's pretty good. So, unless I figure out a way to make it not so chewy, it's still worth it. It's still really good. Like I said, just take small bites. Bite that end off there. There. It's really fatty, and you can see all the grease on my hands and stuff. And it's got a really nice flavor to it. And you get a chance to try it, you should. Oh yeah, that's good. So I have a smoke's following me around. I have another treat. Well, here's the Yooper bar. Yooper's somebody who's from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. They call themselves Yoopers. And this here's chocolate bar. It's got a, I don't know if you can see that, it's got embossed on it is the shape of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. At any rate, I'm eating it out here in Montana next to a stream, eating moose tongue and thinking about the friend who sent me this Yooper bar. I'm done for the day. Have a good night.